Happy Monday. Happy Monday motivation. And I am happy to be back. I am super excited. I want to chat with you all about something a little bit differently from how I normally do. Let me adjust this. All right. So normally I speak more, along the lines of healing, as you know, or if you are just learning about this channel now, I am a Christian confidence coach. My name is Beth, and I help hurting Christian women and men heal by learning how to forgive and love themselves so that they can just flourish and be comfortable in their relationships, free from shame, free from fear, free from perfectionism, free from feeling unworthy. And that's both in our personal and our professional relationships. But I wanted to talk about this from a business perspective this evening because if you don't know, now you're going to know, August is National Black Small Business Month. And in 2017, what you also may not know about me is that I launched a small business directory that lists Black-owned, brown-owned, and women-owned small businesses. And that directory is called the Black Business Connector. You can find it on Instagram at the Black Business Connector, or you can just go to our website, theblackbusinessconnector.com, and you can connect with other entrepreneurs, either for networking or for purchasing products or services. So that being said, I've been working on helping entrepreneurs for 5 years. And here's the thing. A lot of entrepreneurs, myself included, are part-time. And a lot of people who are part-time entrepreneurs sometimes feel guilty about being part-time. And there's no reason to be guilty or to feel shame about being a part-time entrepreneur. But some people really want to become full-time, but the problem is they're not sure what they need in order to do that. So what I am going to be sharing with you is 5 keys for going from a part-time entrepreneur, small business owner, to a full-time small business owner. And the reason why I can speak on this is because this past January, without being ready, I have been a small business owner since 2011. So that's 11 years of having my own business. I was not ready to leave my part-time job. I was not ready to leave my full-time job and transition from part-time entrepreneur to full-time. But it's just the way life worked. I did not choose to leave my job. I was pretty much forced to leave. I had another job offer in Connecticut, and I was working with HR in January of this year, and they told me that they were requiring some things from me that I wasn't willing to do. So I said, thank you. I really appreciate the offer and the opportunity, but I am not going to be working with you. So I unexpectedly in January went from part-time entrepreneur to full-time entrepreneur. And I will say it has not been easy, but I will also say that given the fact that my business was not where it needed to be, still is in the process of getting to where it needs to be. What is this, 8 months later into 2022? But there are some core keys that need to be established, that you need to have established in order to at least go through the process without the stress, without freaking out, and maintain your peace. Because here's the thing, as entrepreneurs, it's never a guarantee, right? Businesses fail, businesses succeed, businesses fail, people try again, right? So what are the 5 things? What do you need? 1, this is super important, and I believe this is a large part, not the whole part, why I have been able to keep my peace in this transition from part-time to full-time. Mental health healing. All right. So, as a business owner, even honestly, if you are part time, but if you are someone who has not healed from past rejections, past traumas, you are not always comfortable with yourself. You have a tendency to maybe remember things that people have done to you in the past, different things. You're holding on to things. You are having thought patterns like remembering what other people said. Maybe someone said, oh, you can't do this, and you're listening to other people. These are things that are not, they're going to hold you back. So it's super important, if you are going to especially transition from part-time to full-time entrepreneur, that you have a healthy mind, that your thoughts are healthy. So I would recommend that you either, start going to therapy, that you hire a personal coach, that you start reading books or listening to books, but you want to make sure that your mental health is right. Because here's the thing, business entrepreneurship takes grit. In fact, actually, there's been studies that have just shown overall, right? People who have graduated high school, top of their class, that doesn't necessarily mean that when they go through life, they're going to be at the top of their performance in their job or their business. Sometimes the person who is the high school dropout ends up becoming that millionaire or billionaire. Why? Because of grit. And you can't have grit if you're always doubting yourself, if you're always snapping back at people, if you have a lot of things going through your mind. Oh, I can't do this. Why me? Why did this happen to me? Things are not going to work in your business. You're going to make posts, you're going to send emails, you're going to do whatever, and you are going to, for some things, get crickets. Not every day is going to be a successful day. But what are you going to tell yourself? Are you like, why me? Why is this happening to me? Not everyone woke up this morning. So the fact that I'm here, the fact that you're here, that we all woke up this morning, we're winning, even if the rest of our business on that particular day is not going well. So, the reoccurring patterns, thought patterns that you have in your mind are going to be extremely important for whether or not you have that grit to hold on for the ups and the downs, right? Because that is what is needed for success. We have to have grit in our businesses. Step 2, and this I would say my healing, having gone through healing, is probably about 40%. My trust in God, I would say, is the other 60%. Definitely trust in God. So here's the thing. I do not look, and this is part of the healing and mindset, this does kind of go together. I do not look necessarily at what other people's reactions to what I do in my business. I do not look for that, for their approval. A lot of times there's fear, right? For example, here's a story. So I had a call from a client, potential client. Actually, I had worked with him before, and he wanted to hire me again to do some updated headshots. Great. So he said a couple days later, never mind, I don't want to do the headshots. I'm afraid that it's not going to work. I've reached out to some people and I haven't heard anything back. And, this is the second time. The first time I tried my business, I lost a lot of money, and I'm afraid of losing money. Well, where is our source? Who are we trusting in? Are we trusting in just our ability, or are we trusting in God? So it does say, that our Father supplies all of our needs. We don't always know, as business women or men, where our next client is coming from. Yes, we network, we put things out there, but it's some days, like a whole month could be super jam-packed busy, and the next month, things can be really quiet. So if I am looking to like my clients and trusting in them, or my leads and trusting in those, yes, of course I'm working away one step at a time, one day at a time, and doing my absolute best. But my vision has to be pointed at the source of all of my provision. So who gave me the energy to get up in the morning? Who gave me life to even, who gave me the ideas, right? So when I'm out of ideas, and sometimes it's like, I don't know where to go. Well, I know that my God will supply all my needs. And if I ask for wisdom or knowledge or understanding from Him, He will give me that abundantly. So I don't know what to do in my business. In my business plan, God is listed as my partner, my top partner. Yes, there's other partners, other people I collaborate with, but that's my top partner. And sometimes even, and this has been something that I've done in my business a couple times, more than a couple times, I would say this year at least 4 times. So like seriously deep for long, a week or more, is fasting, because sometimes things in our business just do get stuck, and we need to pray and fast to move things forward, right? So it is sometimes a spiritual battle, and sometimes even the thoughts that go through our mind of self-doubt, like, what if I'm not good enough? Like this person who is like, you know what, I only want to try this last time I tried my business didn't work out, I want to only try it one more time. And then things weren't like going in the direction that he thought that they should go in his business, so he just shut down and quit, um, and decided he didn't want to, go forward. But when we are praying and fasting, then we can ask, part of fasting is to be able to see things from a new perspective, a new point of view. And sometimes when we ask God to help us or to give us wisdom or knowledge, what He'll actually lead us to is a person who can help us, a business mentor or another type of coach who can help us, and who will have the skills and the tools and the knowledge that we are lacking, right? I don't know everything. No one knows everything, right? Some people know more than others. So you get a mentor, and even people that like I have talked to and who have mentored me, right? They have mentors and their mentors have mentors, right? We're always learning. But when you're trusting God, He's going to bring those people, the right people, into your life. Here's a mistake I made a long time ago, even before I made transition to full time, is I hired a website designer for my business directory, the Black Business Connector. Now I hired him as a referral. He was referred to me. When I tell you that the website he put together was trash, it was trash. I can't even tell you. But then I started thinking about it. And the person who referred me to him wasn't maybe the best integrity overall. Well, did I really ask or trust God to bring me or to guide me to who should be the website designer? No, I just trusted this person. So I lost like $1,500. It's not a lot, but still it was, money that I got nothing for. And so the next time, about a year and a half later, I was able to hire a new website designer who did an amazing job putting together the website for the Black Business Connector. But I did things differently. I waited, I trusted on God, I did it in His timing, because sometimes, here's the other thing, is that in business, as entrepreneurs, we have this idea and we're like, oh, I've got to get it out right away. Well, maybe that's not the best time. Or maybe the person or the people that we know at that exact moment aren't the best people for us. And if we just patiently wait and we trust, and we're not like holding our breaths, but we're breathing, then we're able to wait and have that patience that we need for the right people to come into our lives, to be connected with us, so that we can then move forward successfully. It also says that my God will supply all your needs. So yes, at the beginning of this year, I was just like looking at things, and in real life, it was not looking good. But God has literally met all of my needs. Do I know how it's going to all continue to go as a businesswoman? No, I don't, if I'm going to be honest. But I know that I am always going to have shelter. I'm always going to be provided for. I'm always going to have my needs met. That is a promise. So instead of like freaking out, like, what am I going to do next? I can just trust and day by day, one day at a time, work on my business in peace. And that's the thing we want. Ultimately, we want to enjoy as we're working, as we're growing, as we're building, as we're, scaling our businesses. We want to have peace while we're doing it, right? And it says in Matthew, wait, I wrote it down. Where is it? Matthew 6:26, that the birds are provided for. How much more special are humans, I'm paraphrasing, than birds? So the birds aren't out there having a nervous breakdown on how things are going to work out for them. So when we trust God, that takes that worry off of us. That takes that fear out of us of like, what if this doesn't work? I just actually hired someone last week to do some work on my website. I need something specific done to it that's beyond my skill. When I hired her, I was like, I don't know where I'm going to get the money from to pay her. I mean, just straight up. Guess what? There is something on the way to me that I know that it should be here tomorrow. And that will pay for her. Why? Because I was just like, okay, that I need this. Like it's like a need. So God, you're going to have to like somehow provide for me to be able to get this need in my business met, and it will be met. So that helps us to just go and be able to do what we need to do without the fear and without the stress. Step 3, time. Now, this was quite interesting for me, and I'm getting a lot better at it. So before January, I would get up, I would do a couple things, either self-care or business related. Then I would go to work, then I would come home, and then I would work on my business, right? So this I had done for 10 years. This is now 2022 is my 11th year of business. So this is my first year. I had to really pay attention to how I was structuring and spending my time. Time is like money. They do say time is money, but there's the phrase, like, for example, spend time with my family, spend time with my friends, spend time with my loved ones, right? You spend time with people. Spends, that's like a currency. So think of time as like a currency. The difference between money and time is we only are here for a finite amount of time. Money can be infinite, right? So that is the thing that is really important, that we get under control. And so I've had to revise and structure my time differently. And that is what, if you're transitioning from part-time to full-time entrepreneur, you're going to want to make sure that you set up a schedule that actually allows you to. Now, the thing is, you do want to be honest. You want to be honest with yourself. You don't want to say, I'm going to accomplish 20 things every day. Some days you might accomplish 20 things, but on the average day, you're not like going constantly, right? You need breaks. You need to take breaks to eat. You need to take breaks to stretch and exercise and move your body. You need to take breaks just to relax your mind. And so when you're doing this, you want to set times. You can set like a 90-minute chunk of time where you're working on a specific task, right? Set a timer. When that goes off, then you take like an exercise break, or just like a brain break, or a snack break, or a nature break. But there's also other little things, and I had to really look at things, and I'm still looking at things a little bit differently. Like, for example, I bought an electric toothbrush at the beginning of July. Why? It saves time brushing my teeth. And actually, to be honest, it brushes my teeth better. Things like, this is something that I had done before, but things like laying your clothes out the night before. There's a reason why a lot of successful people, famously successful people, like end up wearing like jeans and a white t-shirt every day, right? You don't really spend time. I like fashion a little too much for me to just like stick with that exact thing. But I lay my clothes out the night before. Then guess what? When I get up in the morning, I'm not spending part of my morning trying to look through my closet, figuring out what to wear. I just get ready and put on what I put out the night before. So preparation is really key. Also, I find that if I don't write down a to-do list of at least 3 to 5 things every day before I go to bed, I don't know what to do the next day. I'm like, okay. And then I'm all over the place. And because I'm a creative, my mind, and an artist, my mind does naturally bounce all over the place, even with a list. I'll be doing something and I'm like, oh, that gave me an idea to do something. And I can just like go off on 10 tasks. But having a to-do list that, that keeps me, even if I go off a little bit, then it does pull me back. So I'm at least staying productive and focused, throughout the day. So how you spend your time is going to be absolutely critical and crucial for how successful you are transitioning from part-time to full-time entrepreneur. And you absolutely want to schedule in rest, because no one wants to burn out. And we do always want to enjoy the fruits of our labor. And if we're tired or we're sick because we worked ourselves to the bone, so to speak, what's the point of it? We're here to enjoy life. And that ties back in with the trust in God. Like, I can trust God that if I take a 20-minute nap, that somehow he's doing something to like line things up. Like, I sent out an email and maybe while I'm taking that 20-minute nap, I'm doing nothing. And that email or whatever has reminded someone that I exist and that I am someone that they can call either for a photo shoot or for coaching. In fact, actually, that happened to me last week. I sent out an email and did some things, and then I walked away, and lo and behold, someone reached out to me for a photo shoot based on something that I had done. So like, we can take that rest. We can take time to breathe when we have trust, right, in God that he's taking care of, the work that we've done, and he's going to like make it, like bless it and make something come of it. And also the thing is, now this has to do with boundaries. And, one of my favorite words is to say no, but it is sometimes harder to say no to someone you love than someone you don't, or whatever. But some people really struggle with saying no. And if that is you, I can absolutely work with you. I have a list of how to say no. I can definitely work. That's one of the things I do as a confidence coach, is learning how to say no, setting boundaries. So I can absolutely help you with that. But keep this in mind. Whenever you say yes to something, you have to say no to something else. Now, I'm not saying you just go around saying no to everyone all the time, right? But if someone asks you to do something and you don't want to do it, like you're really not feeling it, it doesn't go in alignment with who you are as a person, your ethics, your morals, your core beliefs, it doesn't go in alignment with your business. So personally, it's not really a fit. Professionally, it's not a fit. But you're like, oh, I don't want to let this person down, because you're wanting to please people. What if they don't like me? What if I say no to them and they say to someone else, oh, she's such a, bitch, and don't work with her because she said no, so sometimes this goes back to the original thing with healing. We have to have a healthy mindset. And that healthy mindset involves setting boundaries and being able to say no and not worry about what someone says to other people about us. If, our saying no rubs them the wrong way, oh, well, so, or they just don't like us, this does all go back to having that healing, because we do have only a certain amount of time there's 24 hours in a day. And honestly, if it was meant, if God intended, if we needed more than 24 hours in a day, God would have given us 36 or 14, but he didn't. So it has to be possible that we can do whatever we need to do, including rest, including time with our friends or family in those hours. We just have to figure out how to do it. And I can help you with that if you need that. Just reach out to me. You can email me at levelupwithbeth, or you can just comment even on this video and I will connect with you. Tip 4 for transitioning from part-time to full-time entrepreneur is to learn continually. All right. That has to do with either reading books, getting, even if it's like an Audible, it has to do with, finding other people. I'm getting ready to, on September 24th, I'm going to be hosting a business brunch. And I just have to finalize some details that I'm going to be putting in place this week. But September 24th, I'm hosting a business brunch. That's a learning opportunity, right? So going to networks, working events, meeting new people who you can learn from, you can hire mentors, you can hire coaches, reading, you can go to YouTube, right? I'm on YouTube right now. You can join Facebook groups. You can do all sorts of different things, but you want to continually be learning. And I'm also going to be sending an email out to those of you who are on my email list. If you are not on my email list and you want to be part of either the business brunch or this new thing I'm getting ready to launch, which is a book club, we're going to be starting September. And that book club is going to be both kind of business and personal development. So it will combine the two, because I do very much strongly feel that our mental health and our healthy, emotional state is super tied into with our ability to be successful as business women and men. That's why I had it as step 1, right? Healing. So a book club that will help people, come together, learn from each other, talk with each other, read books. I'm definitely all about continually learning. And I just, this past Saturday, learned a whole lot. I was up literally at 4 a.m., both Saturday morning and Sunday morning, for a masterminds workshop. It was super helpful. So sometimes learning is not convenient. By nature, I am not a morning person. I get most of my energy from about 6 in the evening to 11. That's really that's always since I was a child, for as long as I can remember. That's when I had the most energy, the most ideas, everything. But I was up at 4. So we do, if you want to transition from part-time to full-time, you have to start making those sacrifices. And in this case, saying yes, to things that are uncomfortable. You just have to be wise in what you say yes and no to go back to the time, right? I could have easily said, no, I don't want to do that. And my body was definitely at 4 a.m. like, no, I don't want to get out of bed. But what I need is to learn new skills. So I need to continue working on my business and learn new things. And if that is what you want to do to have the best chance at having a successful business, you're going to have to continually learn. That's it. Number 5, my 5th key to transitioning from part-time entrepreneur to full-time entrepreneur is gratitude. And this all kind of goes all along with the healing, with the trust, because if we have a bad day, it's so easy, like I said earlier, to get sucked down and to get stuck into a why me? And sometimes, I'm not saying, I am not advocating denial. We all have to process. If something hurts us, if something disappoints us, we all have to take a time out and process it and go through the emotions and just kind of sit with the hurt or the anger or whatever it is. right? So I am absolutely not about stuffing and shoving and just be positive and like ignore when things are not going right. That's not what I'm saying. But we have to keep in mind that when we are thankful, we have a much healthier way of processing things. It says in, oh, I didn't write down the exact verse. Oh no, I did. Rejoice always, pray continually, and give thanks in all things. Yeah, I did not write down. Oh, First Thessalonians verse 5, or chapter 5. So, and also all things work together for good. I just dropped something that I had written down. My note. I got it. And here it says also in Proverbs, that's what it was. A joyful heart is good medicine, but a broken, crushed spirit saps a person's strength, or other translations say dry up the bones. Our bones, inside of our bones, we have bone marrow. That is what gives us life. When we are going through our business and we're like, oh, that didn't work. This didn't work. This was not how I don't know how to do this. I can't do this. What if, if we're just always going through in a harsh talk to ourselves, in blaming ourselves, in blaming other people, and just being in general not content, that's going to kind of, that it literally is a proverb. It's not going to be healthy for us. But it says a joyful heart is like good medicine. So that is, and there's another verse that says the joy of the Lord is my strength. So you could just say, well, I don't subscribe to the Bible, and that's okay. But the thing is these are proverbs, and these are backed up actually by science. So science research has shown that people who practice gratitude have higher self-esteem. Why? Because you're not thinking about like, I did this wrong. You pay attention to what you did wrong and you learn from your mistakes, obviously. I'm not saying to ignore them, but you're thankful. You know what? That was a really hard lesson, but I learned something, and I'm thankful that now that I know better, I can do better. And let me try this again, this new way, right? I'm thankful that I actually have, the tools that I need in order to try this new way. Also, gratitude increases, this is research. So, people have done studies. It increases our resilience, which goes back to what I was talking about at the beginning, that we need grit as entrepreneurs, right? Resilience, because things are going to come at us and we're either not going to know how to respond, we're not going to know what to do, or things aren't going to work out. We have to be able to push back and try again in a new way. When we a friend of mine, who is the millennial mom money magnet, she talks about failing forward a lot, right? So when we fail forward. That's a part of resilience, because then we get back up and we go again. We don't quit. But when we're not in a grateful place, we're like, ugh, and it's more like a fall backwards. And also gratitude, when people who are grateful are going to say thank you a lot more. And people like to be told thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your help. Thank you for that idea. Thank you for having me. I like a lot of times, not a lot of times, all the time, I'll tell my clients, thank you for having me as your photographer. Those people who hire me for my photography services, thank you for having me. They didn't have to have me. Do you know how many other photographers there are in New York City? And they chose me. I'm grateful, right? If someone buys my forgiveness journal, right? I am grateful. Do you know how many books are on Amazon? I don't know. I don't know the number, but someone chose to buy my book to learn how to heal out of all the other books. That's amazing. even if I just sold one book, I've sold definitely more than one book, but even if I had sold one book and that was it, that would be something to be grateful for because someone chose it. That's an honor. So a lot about gratitude is our, you know, our perspective. It helps us, and and when we're telling people thank you, you know, they're going to want to do business with us again. They're going to want to, even if or even if our product or service isn't what they're looking for, they will say to a friend or even a stranger that they meet, oh, you need that? Oh, well, let me tell you, I just met this person and he was so nice. They thanked me for their time. They smiled at me. They encouraged me. They were just a pleasure to be around. And they will refer you to people they meet who might need your product or service. Because when you're coming from that gratitude place, you know, you're coming with an openness to be able to meet people where they're at instead of coming from a closed place of, oh, hmm. And honestly, you know, as I said earlier, I woke up, you woke up this morning, you're winning. Be grateful. There is a lot, and I know this is used a lot. This is maybe, but I mean, really, there are a lot of people who didn't wake up this morning for whatever reason. And just that you have a chance to try again. And the thing is also, as entrepreneurs, this is also part of gratitude. Sometimes we just forget the small wins. So are you celebrating the successes that you have, the big ones and the small ones? You know, maybe you just did something a little bit different. Like maybe all you did was like change a hashtag on your Instagram post, and for whatever reason the old hashtag wasn't working, but this new hashtag got you like 20 likes, plus you did something, you know, just like that. I don't know. It's a small win. It is just Instagram, and you know, I think social media is sometimes a little bit, you know, overplayed. But just be grateful for it, and you know, it's a small win. You know, 20 new people saw what you're about. That's awesome. 20 new people who didn't know you yesterday, right? So, you know, did anything major happen? Did you sell like make a big sale? Not that day, but those 20 new people that just knew about you might be buying from you tomorrow or next week or next year. So being grateful for the little successes that you have and the big successes, even things like, you know, your boundaries. You learn how to say no, and now you're saying no to things that aren't in alignment with who you are as a person personally, or who you are as a businesswoman or man, right? You're saying no to the things that just aren't floating your boat. And you couldn't do that before. Like last year, you were saying yes to everything because you were people pleasing. You know, that's a win. Be grateful for that evolution, that change, right? Always be grateful. So those are the 5 keys that have been very important foundationally in my unexpected transition from part-time entrepreneur to full-time entrepreneur this year. These things have all given me peace in this process. Like I said, it has been not easy for me. You know, July was an amazing month for me. Not every month this year has been amazing, in the sense of, you know, what would be, this is, oh, you know what? This is tip 6. This is a bonus tip. Tip 6, define for yourself success. Write your own definition of success. And I will share mine. My definition of success is being able to stay calm. It's not about how much money I make. It's not about how many new people I meet every day. It's about staying calm in these So, and these things, so maybe there's a little bit of bias in my presentation because these are all things that have kept me calm. But honestly, the world is in such turmoil and people are so stressed out these days. And, entrepreneurship can be stressful. So I feel like peace is really important, that we really learn how to keep our peace. So if you're listening to someone else's definition, and maybe someone else's definition is that they're having like 30K months. That's great. And there's nothing wrong with 30K months, but you don't want your definition of success to be like theirs, because then what's going to happen is you're going to start comparing yourself with other business owners. Oh, he did this and I didn't do that. She did that and I totally missed that mark. And then now you're in this cycle of competition, which is actually not mentally healthy for us. And, we all want to have goals, right? I have my own goals for like what my goal is to earn every day, but that's not my focus. My focus is people. My focus is my own peace, right? My focus is my own definition of success every day. And by that, I know I'm going to eventually get to where I'm going. So that is actually a bonus tip 6. Step 6 would be to write your own definition of peace so that you can go along as you are meant to go along. Not everyone is meant to have the same type of successes. We all have a different purpose here. There's a different plan for our life. Your plan, my plan. We all have, different reasons for being here. And so as a result, our successes are going to look different, and that's absolutely okay. So I would be happy to connect with you if you have any questions. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be starting a book club in September. So if you want to be able to find more about that, you can email me at Level Up with Beth, and I will add you to my list and reach out to you with the information for how to sign up for that. And if you need help with like your boundaries, forgiveness, releasing, being able to trust God, being able to release like stress, setting just in general self-love. And then I can help you with that as well. I do have a program that helps people to transform their thought life about themselves so that they can see themselves differently, see themselves in a new light, and, have healthy relationships, things that, I was talking about earlier, including relationship with time. Yes. So that was what I wanted to share this evening with you. You can reach out to me again at Level Up with Beth, or you can just comment below this video. All right. Have a successful and wonderful week ahead, peace-filled week ahead, and I will be back next Monday. Peace.